Hey, it is 2021, and what that means is that if you're in a job search and you're going to be doing interviews, they are going to be video interviews. Trust me, they're still doing video interviews, and actually, I just read a study that said that 81% of people in talent acquisition say that virtual interviewing will continue past the pandemic. In other words, once we don't have to wear masks, once things go back to normal, if that's ever going to be a thing, now I'm starting to wonder, but once things go back to normal, 81% of companies will probably still do video interviewing versus sending you out on site to do an on-site interview. It's just they're finding that it's cheaper. It's just, it's quicker. Even though it seems like when they're doing video interviews in 2020 and 2021, that they are doing more interviews than if you were in person. And I think it's because it's taking them a longer amount of time to determine if you're the right one, if they can't be with you, if they can't see you, if they can't shake your hand, if they don't know what you're like in person. They want to make absolutely sure that you're going to be a great cultural fit, and so they have a lot of people talk to you. So I want to talk with you today about setting your stage prior to your video interviews. In other words, you're going to have to get used to video interviews, and you're going to have a great video presence. Now, I've put together a 10-point checklist for video interviews, and the link is in the description. The link is basically there to allow you to get that 10-point checklist. These are things that you have to do prior to having a video interview if you want to make sure that everything is running smoothly. So the first thing you want to do is a couple of days or several days before your interview, you want to set the stage. Now, staging is something that if you, for instance, if you are selling a house, you're going to stage the house in a very neutral, nicely decorated, not too stuffy, very few kind of sparse pieces throughout the house in order to make the house look bigger. Okay, so when you're doing a video interview, you want to look at your background. So wherever you put your laptop, wherever you have your desktop, wherever that webcam is, you want to make sure that the background is professional, that it looks good, and that it's not detracting from anything that you might say. In other words, the most important thing about you being on video is to establish trust and rapport with the person that you're talking to, as well as making sure that everything you're saying, they're listening to. The best way to do that is to make sure that there's nothing in the background that's going to detract from what you're saying. So look at your background. In fact, you can record yourself a couple of days before. I would recommend doing so at the same time of day so that you know what the lighting is going to look like. And make sure that you understand how to use whatever tool they want you to use, like Zoom or WebEx or Microsoft Teams or even Skype. There are a lot of companies that are using a lot of different things. I would say Zoom is the number one, but make sure whatever it is that you know how to use that system or that particular platform. So just make sure that when we talk about staging, that everything looks really good in the background. And I'll give you some other tips as well as part of the 10-point checklist. But for right now, that's what I wanted to cover. I hope that served you. And I'm Tammy Kabell with Career Resume Consulting. And thanks for watching today. Bye now.